Right, so now we're going to go in with our face makeup, okay? So I've cleaned up underneath my eyes and I'm now going to start applying my concealer to start off with, okay? So I'm going to start off now with base makeup or foundations and concealers. You really want to go for a sort of yellow golden undertoned foundation. Even if someone like me, okay, I've got a lot of pink and a lot of redness into my skin, but if I was to go for a pink undertoned foundation, what will happen is if there was any flash photos took, or if someone gets quite close to you and takes a photo or a selfie, what will happen is you'll get like a ghosting effect, so your face will look really pale, and that's because pink undertone foundations and concealers tend to have an ingredient in called titanium dioxide or iron oxide, and they're really good because they protect you with sun, so they're an SPF, so they've got some protection factor within them, and normally you'd recommend them, and I'd still kind of recommend them, products with SPF in, even for photographic work, but what will happen is you will just get that paleness. But if you go for something that's got like a yellow undertone, like this, okay, like these two, okay, they've got a golden sort of yellow undertone to them, what will happen is whenever you take a photo, it will look really natural and glowy, okay, and you won't get that pale mask sort of effect. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my yellow undertoned concealer, and I'm going to apply that underneath my eyes, and I'm going to use it just to help guide and precise my eyeshadow. Then I'm going to go off in the corners, so that's where I apply. I'm going to just blob it on, okay? I shall blend it in a moment. Okay, so I'll work particularly on this outer corner. Okay, then around my nostrils. Chin. And all my horrible imperfections. I might as well just spread this around my whole face. There. Okay, now I've probably put well too much on there, but I need coverage and I like this, okay, but please, this is just for demo purposes, okay. And then I'm going to get a little blend and little foundation brush, and this time I'm not going to do circular motions, I'm going to do patty motions. This keeps the product, it doesn't move the product away from the imperfection. So if you were to go like this, you're just taking the product off, okay? But if you're doing this, it's actually helping it sit in the skin, it's setting it, and it's going to give you a better finish, okay? Now this is industrial strength concealer. It's skin camouflage concealer. I kind of need it, you guys won't need it, okay? Just go for a normal cream based concealer, which you get in your kits if you've got your kits, okay? You get your Lorac one, or you can use the cream foundations as a form of concealer, which is the Kryolan palette. Okay, and I'll need to go over that again. Probably I'm going to go over the imperfections again after I've done my foundation. Okay, so I just need to check in my mirror that I've actually got that, because I'm using the camera and that's not the best thing to do. Okay, so I've got my concealer, which has brightened up the areas I need them to brighten up, and then I'm going to go in with my foundation. Okay, so I'm going to mix a couple of foundations and I'm going to test. So this is one thing you're going to have to get used to, is testing your foundation and trusting that you're going to pick the right shade, okay? So you want to make sure when you apply it, okay, can you see that? When you apply it on the jawline, and then if you buff that in, if you can't see a definition between neck and face, that's perfect. I just happen to know what my skin down, or foundations that is. So I find that quite easy, but you would need to just experiment, just a little tiny bit of each foundation, try each one, maybe mix a couple together and go from there, okay? So here we go. So I'm going to start with adding to the centre panel of my face and my forehead. Okay, I don't like any of my redness. Okay, I don't have any redness anywhere else, so I don't want it on my face. Okay, I want to have a nice, even, flawless base that matches. And if you see, I do put a little bit on my ears, a little bit down my neck. Okay, and if it's a bride, I tend to just check whether she needs any on her chest or on her shoulders, just to make sure that everything is just looking flawless. I tend to put a little bit of shimmer on the sort of shoulders and on the collarbone area as well. All right, let's get this foundation on. Let me look like I'm alive. Okay, let's get rid of all those imperfections and even out my skin tone. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to probably just go over and just check for any other imperfections, but I'll do that quickly as a timer.